but save Noah the eighth person.
So there was a remnant that the Most High saved. Okay, that the Most High saved to exist. That's during Noah's time. Oh. But I want to show you that the world before Adam, there were beings that existed. Okay, I will prove it to you. Beings that existed, okay, before Adam, that still made it after the flood. Okay, before Adam was created. Read. I'll show you that. Okay, the words before Adam on this lesson. Let's read.
But save Noah the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness.
A preacher of righteousness.
Bringing in the flood upon the world.
Now, because the Most High found one person to be righteous, is that also? That's why the Most High told Abraham in, I believe it's Genesis chapter 19, during the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, that if I found few people, if I found 50 persons left, I will spare the city. Abraham said 40, God said yeah. Abraham said 30, God said yeah. Abraham said 20, 10, 5, God said yes. But God did not see any there. Who did God find there? Just Lot. You understand what I'm saying? Just Lot made it out of the city. You understand what I'm saying? And was spared alive. Is that not so? So there was a remnant. All these ones were lucky among the destruction that was made by the Most High. But when it comes to the time before Adam, you understand what I'm saying? It was so terrible that really any civilization made it after the flood back then, which I will show you. But the beings that made it after the flood, I will show you who they are. They were giants that made it after the flood. Is that understood? Now, what giants were they? Were they righteous sons of men? I doubt that, because I will show you that they're not giants. They are not righteous giant sons of men. Adam was a giant in terms of height, not in terms of the seed of the fallen angel. Do you know that? Huh? You know that. Okay, we'll get there. Let's read. 2 Peter 2 verse 5.
And spare not the old world, but save Noah the eighth person.
Yes.
A preacher of righteousness.
A preacher of righteousness.
Bringeth in the flood.
Yes.
Upon the world.
Upon the world.
Of the ungodly.
Because the world were ungodly. That's why God brought about the flood. So ungodliness brings about flood. That's why go back to Jubilee. Let's see what Jubilee 7 says. What the angels did. Where it says, owing to these three things, God brought about the flood. So this is how you understand the concept, or what happened before Adam, or the world that exists before Adam. Let's go 21.
Jubilee 7 verse 21. For owing to these three things came the flood upon the earth.
So the Bible says, for owing to these three things came the flood upon the earth. Who caused the owing to these three things? Read. Namely,
owing to the fornication.
Owing to the fornication, that is the act.
Wherein the watchers.
Wherein the watchers, which are the angels.
Against the law of the ordinances.
That's very clear. Go on.
Went a whoring after the daughters of men.
Do you see that? So there were high priests created during Adam's time that made the Most High brought the flood upon the earth. That's why in the first paragraph or preface of 21 of Jubilee 7, it says, for owing to these three things came the flood upon the earth. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. Without form and void. Without form and void in the Hebrew, so the English translation is what? Ruin or desolation. That's how it's supposed to have been written. That means when God created the heaven and the earth, then verse 2 is telling us of a ruin and a desolation. It should have been written that way. Then people will not do what? Put the pieces together and say, but Isaiah 45 verse 18 says, God created the earth not in vain. Not be so. God created the earth not in vain. So if God created the earth not in vain, why is Genesis chapter 1 verse 2 saying that when God created the earth in verse 1, then verse 2 says that it was without form and void? Because I know that without form and void in the original Hebrew text means ruin or desolation or emptiness or what? Or waste, light waste. So what made the earth to be desolate or light waste? Now, whenever there's a desolation, there's always a sin that brings about desolation. That's why verse 2 gives more information still and went further and say that and darkness was upon the face of the deep. That's why in verse 9, verse 9 to verse 10, it tells you that and God do what? Separated the waters to move to one corner and let the dry land appear. So the dry land was already there, but did not appear. You understand what I'm saying? Because in Nehemiah chapter 9 verse 6, it tells you that the Most High created the heavens and the earth and all the things that are therein. So when God created the heavens and the earth and all things that are therein, the things in the heavens, when God created the heaven, He didn't leave it empty. when he created the earth, he didn't leave it empty. Genesis chapter 1 verse 31 tells you that everything that God created was very good. So how can God create the heaven, and how can God create the heaven in verse 1 of Genesis 1 and then make it void and without form? God is not a matter of confusion. Something went wrong that people is not just telling us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you connect the dots together, you will see that there was a word that existed. There was something that went on that made verse 2 of Genesis chapter 1 to say that God made that the earth was without form and void. Because only if you have known what that without form and void mean, that it means ruin or desolation. In the real Hebrew text, you should have known that it's telling you that there was a destruction that took place. That's why Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 22 said, my people is foolish and they have not known me. And when you read downwards, what God says there, he said that he destroyed the earth at his presence with great fury. God said, I beheld the earth and lo, it was desolate. You understand what I'm saying? And all the birds of the heaven were fled. That's what it says there. And all the birds of the heavens were fled. So Jeremiah 4 totally break it down, proves that there was a war before Adam. It makes it very simple to understand. So now, the next stage we are going to show us that now I've also proven, okay, that the angels, okay, have thrones in the world, in the heavens and on the earth. You understand? And they have thrones there, and they have dominionship and principalities. That's why they are the wicked ones ruling from the heaven on the earth. There are the spiritual wickednesses from in dark places of the earth and also in the heaven. No, so they are still ruling, and Satan is the prince of them, like Ephesians chapter 2 verse 1 to 2 says. Is that very correct? Now we also know that Lucifer, whose name is being called Satan or Mastema, is the what? Is the father of sin. Like 1 John 3 verse 8 says. And also, we also know that he used the same method with Adam. You understand what I'm saying? When he went into Eden, how do you think that Lucifer have access into Eden? Because the Most High was to try Adam. That's why Jeremiah 17 verse 9 to 10 says, I the Lord tried the reins to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doing. When the Most High tried Adam, Adam failed. Did the Most High give Adam the fruit of his doing? What did the Most High give Adam? He reduced his age that he's supposed to live. Because everything that the Most High created, he tried it. That's why I took us to the book of Joshua 22 from verse 40 and shows that the Most High was trying Abraham with Isaac. And Abraham passed the test and knew that it was Satan and rebuked him. I hope that's correct. So we are proving all this by precept, not my own intuition. No. Precept. You understand what I'm saying? So we have shown that Satan used Eve. Satan is the serpent in Genesis 3. Okay? Because he can transform in any form. That's why it shows a similitude in the book of Joshua. How Satan transforms into an old man, to old woman, first of all, old woman to Sarah, then old man to Abraham, then young man to Isaac. Okay, when Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac, he was transformed to a different form, preventing Abraham from, trying to discourage Abraham. You understand? Say, then he transformed himself to a flood and blocked the way. He has the power because he's an angel. His power is still with him when he fell. That's why Christ said, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from what? Fall from heaven. Then when you link it now, what you must know is that where did Lucifer fell from? I mean, where did Lucifer fell to? He fell to the what? To the earth. That's why Isaiah 14 verse 12 says, how art thou falling from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How are you called down to the ground? I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So when Christ was in the heavens, he beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So where did he fall to? When he fell from heaven, Isaiah 14 gives us more information that he fell to the ground. If Lucifer fell to the ground, and in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, you understand what I'm saying? So what ground did Lucifer fell to? Wasn't Lucifer in paradise before Adam? Eh? Lucifer was already in Eden. Lucifer was already on the earth. Listen very carefully. Lucifer was already on the earth before Adam. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. How are you called down to the ground? Which did weaken the nations? Because there were nations that exist before Adam. When Lucifer was called down to the ground, he fooled those nations in the same manner that he is doing. In the same manner that he did with Adam, he did after Noah's flood, he's still doing today. That's why you see him, he had access to Eden. Because he was called down to the ground. Because the Most High called the ground the earth. Not be so. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 9 years 9 to 10, the Most High called it the dry land earth. So when the Most High called the dry land earth, okay, and Lucifer was already on the earth before Adam was created in verse 26. How did Lucifer get there? That's what the Bible tells you, that waters was upon the face of the deep, because there was a desolation or a destruction. That's why the earth was without form and void. Because Lucifer was a cause that made verse 2 appear in Genesis 1. You understand what I'm saying? Do you get the point? Because Lucifer was one that created the sin. You understand what I'm saying? That made verse 2 to appear in Genesis chapter 1. That's why you see he was there before Adam was created. I hope we get it. So now the link is very clear. So wonders of our highest creation, the words in plural before Adam. Okay, which we have shown with the cities and the kingdom. Now let's go. So let's get more information on Ezekiel. Ezekiel 31. So let me prove to you that there were beings that existed, okay, pre-flood. Okay, there were beings that existed pre-flood, okay, that met Adam in Eden. Or that Adam met. I want to show you that there are beings that existed. Let's go. Ezekiel 31 verse 1. Remember, don't forget, God said, I have also spoken by the prophets, and used similitudes and multiply visions by the ministry of the prophet. Don't forget that in Hosea 12 verse 10. I hope you don't forget. And what God told Ezra in 2 Ezra 14 verse 26, what God told Ezra, that some things you shall do or publish, and some things you shall do what? Show secretly to the wise ones. Just as I did with Moses, in verse 6. In 2 Ezra 14 verse 6, God told Ezra concerning Moses that I told Moses some things to declare and some things hide, meaning write them in parables. Then also, so when you see the book of Genesis, some things are written there in parables. Most people don't understand it because they're not using the principles of understanding, which is precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So if you don't use that, you cannot understand the parables or the similitude that the Most High is using to address the kingdom, or the signs of the times that he told Ezra in 2 Ezra 14. Is that understood? Now, in Ezekiel 31, the Most High will use similitude to address beings that existed in Eden. Watch this. And let's go.
Ezekiel 31 verse 1. And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the 3rd month, in the 1st day of the month,
Yes.
that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt,
Yes.
and to his multitude,
Yes.
who art thou like in...
Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his multitude, whom are you like in your greatness? Read.
Verse 3. Behold, the Assyrians was a cedar in Lebanon.
Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon. Now, remember, God is using similitude to address the kingdom of Egypt and Lebanon. He's using a real event that took place, okay, during the Garden of Eden to address, okay, the greatness, okay, of Egypt, okay, in comparison to the Assyrian. Read.
Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon, with a fair branches.
Yes.
And with a shroud on a high status,
and of a high statue. Pay attention, oh, and of a high statue. Read.
And his top was among the thick
bow. And his top was among the thick bow. So God is now describing Assyria. If Assyria will match the greatness of Egypt, okay, God is using the beings that existed in Eden, okay, in comparison to Adam.